Hi friend, today I will be discuss how to set up Angular 6 project with ASP.NET Core and Entity Framework with reactive form. In this form, showing for field name, email, contact number, address. Every field uh, in every field also implement validations like this: required. Address field is optional field. Name like this: Vikas, Max name, and email like this: Max. But showing enter valid email here gmail.com. After that, contact number and enter valid contact number. Okay, after that, and enter valid email. Okay, .com address and like this Delhi, and save data saved successfully here, and data showing in my list: Max Delhi. This is my contact number, and similar to like this. And the next record is Yan. Okay, now save record Ryan, and next record is okay. Now I'm saving my data. Now after showing my data and showing here list, and like this pagination showing in my list this, and we can also filtering data here, and no data record found, and like this Max showing data, and also we can search data by city name, address, Delhi, and also like this Noida. Similar to we can filtering data every field, and we can also delete this record here and delete button. After we can also edit button, we can also edit this field and like this delete. Okay, Vishal I have deleted, but refresh my page and my record has been successfully deleted. Start my Visual Studio. After that, click File and open new project. Here .NET Core and ASP.NET Core web application. Here, and write down the project name web app. Web app is my project name. Here select Angular application and click. After that, add API in this project, and here click on new project and ASP.NET Core web application. Write down the name web API, and after that click here and select API, and after that click here OK. Add a new layer in this project and name this class library, web data layer. This layer are totally responsible for data handling. In this project, add new layer, this name dot class library, and change the name web code layer. This layer totally responsible for the business logic. Okay. After that, I'm testing my API. This is my API, and I'm testing now. Set up a project and run IS Express. Now my API running. I have been tested. This is my API, and okay, this is my API, and now I am running my Angular application web app, and some steps we have to following like this, and run Angular application, and web app layer client app. Go to the client app, right click on the client app and open a CMD. Write down the query this ng sub dash open. Okay, here this is my project, this is my web app, and here client app. Open folder in Explorer, write down here CMD, and write down the query ng sub dash open. This is command for using we can run Angular application. Okay, the server command required to be run in Angular project, but a project definition could not be found. Now, in which case, uh, we have to install npm latest, write down the here and enter. Now my Angular CLI installing. Now my package has been successfully installed. Next step is that install npm. Now my npm successfully installed, and next step is that write down the here ng serve open. Okay, write down the again. Because before here I write down the wrong query ng serve let us open in capital, but I have to use ng serve open in small. Now my project compiling. Now my project has been successfully compiled. This is my project localhost 40720. This is running project now, and home counter fetch data. Okay, I will try to implement a employee module in this project. Here home counter fetch data. Here I add a employee module, and next step is that add a component in my application. This is my web application, and here Angular client app. This like this, and here, and using the command control C here, and after that yes, and create a component using command, and this is command for using add new component, and client app open a CMD. This is command for using to the generated component employee module. Okay, and write down the query here, and the client app component name ng generate component, and this is my module employee component.html employee.component.specific.ts add successfully component here and html. After that add a service similar to nggs service employee service, change the name here employee service, and write under this query this command, copy here and paste. Okay, and enter. Okay, successfully add service in my project. This is my project here, and this is client app, This is my web application here, web app. Inside the src client app, src, and after that app. Inside the app showing my uh, employee module here. This is employee. Inside the employee.component css, employee.component.html, employee.component.ts, and similar to add a service, employee.service.ts here. And this service I add by and cmd, and similar to we add component html and css by cmd using command. This is my employee component here. This is my component, and already added here employee.component.html, employee.component.css. And after that, this is my this is as employee module here. This is my main module. This is name is the app module here. Already employee component added here, and employee component this, and we can add routing here for we can add routing. And this is my component, employee component. Employee component, we can write down here path name. This is my path for routing. This is root module, and here app module. This is my app component. Here this is my menu component. This is my menu html. Okay, here this is my menu list. This is my path name here. Write down here router link inside the my path and employee, and change the name. Add employee, and here this is my employee module, and this is employee html. Okay, and employee works, and after that, and okay, now my application running, and this is my application compiling here, and here running, and here, and after that I'm showing my application on browser, and this is home, this is counter, this fetch data, this is add employee. This is my employee component .html here, and this is my, and this is my html here, and after that, this is my form here, add new employee, and this is my form group, and this name is a customer form, and this is button ng submit, save customer, and write down the here label name, email, contact number, address, similar to like this. This is a reactive form, and this is a form control name, form control name, email, and also implement validation, and write down the here the ng class validation, validate name similar to the ng class, and here the, and also implement validation, validate name, this is a function, and this is a customer form name, this name error required. This is a form group, the initialize as a form group, and name and email. This is a form control, and import here form group form control validator, and inside the angular form. Okay, and this is after that, and unit, this is my email pattern expression here, this is my phone validation expression, and here we implement validation, and this dot name is equal to new form control validator dot is required, and similar to here, and write down the email pattern for email validation, and after that all property set in the customer form, new form group here, name, this is equal to this dot name. After that, write down the function here, and here this is my function, name is save customer, and we can change the name as per my requirement, save employee here, save employee, and this my HTML page here, save customer here, save employee, and here add a service, and service, this is my service, import service name is employee service, and from employee component. I am looking at service implement component dot service here, environment whole, this is my employee service here, and after that employee service, my employee service is here, and this employee service name, and here, and change the name as per my employee service here, and in the my constructor here, and write down the employee private emp, and write down the name here, employee service, create an instance like this, private employee service, and okay, this query write down inside the constructor here, wait for, okay, this empl service, this, and change the name as per my service name, this, save employee here, subscribe data, and wait again here, and this is my service here, employee service, inside the employee service, and we have to import http client, and http client, import the package http client for API calling, and this is my here inside the constructor, and create an instance, and after that call a function, and this is my function here, and function name is save employee here, change the as per my requirement, save employee, root not found, doesn't matter, and read only, write down the here, this is my API path, and this name root API home save user, okay, and here this is my app module here, in this app module, and reactive form, and ng form module, and similar to reactive form module, we have to mention here the reactive form also, because I am using the reactive form, okay, and mention here the service also, and this is my service, employee service. Now this employee service, inside the module and providers, we have to write down the here employee service, and import here employee service, import employee service, and given path here, and here like this. This is the employee service here, and okay. This is my form, and here we can write down the name, and here email, but enter valid email, and css note is working here. This is my css control, and this is cs file here, and write down the my employee component.cs here. My validation css is now working, and enter valid contact number. This is my validation, and like this, enter valid number here, contact number 8976. Okay, this is my valid contact number. Enter email, and write down the here, and write email.com, this, and this is right email. If I change the, and if I write on the wrong email, and enter valid email, and suppose that I'm not write down here email, so then showing the required email validation, and this is my form, and after name and email, I like this my email, and this contact number, address, and valid email. Okay, and this is my button now enable, because my form, all form is enable. After that, click here, my data is post on, and controller component, address, contact number, email, and name, and this is my service here, and okay, this is my data here, and after that, data posting and on my server save user. This is my API, and API home control and save user. This is my web API here. We have to add a controller. This is controller folder. In controller folder, add a controller. This is API controller, add home controller, add my reference, and controller has been successfully add in my controller list, and after that, add reference here, webcore and web data, webcore and web data in my API layer. After that, and this is my code layer. Inside the code layer, add a new item / employee service, add here interface, after that, and this is my controller. This is my home controller. Inside the home controller, and import here, and interface, Here inside the control constructor we initialize my interface in instance. Here employee, this employee, and this is my service here, and this is my employee service. Inside the employee service the root URL is this, and API home and save employee. Save employee, this is my function and call from the Angular service. Okay, and this is my home controller. Here the home controller we can write a function. This name function name is save employee. Okay, after that this is my database. Here database name is customer db. Inside the customer db this is my table, and table name is user account. Inside the user account have a table. Inside the field name, email, contact number, address. Here this is my database. Okay, and this is my data layer, and this is web data layer. Inside the web data layer we add a folder, a name, folder name model, and inside the model folder, inside the model we add item name is class. This is model. Okay, this is our database name, email, contact number, add property. Here user account, this is my model, are using my and similar to the my table. And after that user account model, and call here user, and after that and add reference to web data. Okay, now I am adding entity framework in my applications, and dependency add reference project manage NuGet here, and browse here, install here. Just I'm looking that and how many and package install my applications, that ASP.NET Core entity framework are installing or not. Okay, is Microsoft Entity Framework Core by this package has been already installed. Okay, otherwise in your application does not install, so please browse here and search here Entity Framework Core, and this Microsoft Entity Framework Core you can install here. After that installing ASP.NET Core applications, and here add a class name is customer and db context. Okay, in this class implement and db custom db context, and you also constructor here, public, and customer db context here. After that, and we can write on this code here, and this is my class here, public partially, and here control kd db context class using Microsoft Entity Framework. This is my class, and using db context is a part of the Entity Framework. Customer db context is my class. Here, okay. User account is my model and table user account. This here, this user account, and here, and using my model, and this is my part of the Entity Framework. I have it successfully here, and after that, this is part of my API. Inside the API, this is a app setting. Inside the app setting, and we add here my connection string like this, and here this is my connection string, and after that, this is my connection string, this is my database name, integrate. Okay, here this is my Entity Framework, customer db contacts. This is my configuration of Entity Framework. After that, connection string mentioned in my app setting.json. App setting.json are in part of the web API, and after that, and inside the web API have a class startup.cs. Here we have to mention here inside the my startup.cs file, here add customer db customer and db text, and using web data here, and this is my app setting. This is my two staging here. Here this is my string staging. Here this is my database connection string name, and this is my file of startup.cs. Startup.cs file is the part of the web API, and the SQL server is not meeting here, and please here add. We have to add a package manage NuGet package manager. Here search. I'm looking at SQL Server Compact Entity Framework and SQL Server Compact. This package install now. Accept. Okay. And the name of the end of file expected. Okay. User SQL Server here. Using Microsoft Entity Framework. Okay, and this is my connection string here. Now access my data access layer in my employee service, and write on the here Okay, this is customer DB here, and after that customer DB contact initializing as a constructor inside the constructor, and here context here, and this is my interface, and this is home controller. Inside the home control I implement private read only employee service in the employee service, and like this, and employee dot save employee, write on the function here, and user, and save employee. After that return make a function, and this is interface here. Inside the interface implement this, and after that interface implement here employee service, and implement interface here, and after interface implementation here, and write down the context dot user account dot add here user. Okay, and you context and dot save changes, and save changes, and return true. Here I've done the try catch, and try, and return the code inside the try. After that catch, this is write down the code for data insert in by entity framework in a table. This is my entity framework instance and table. This is my table, and this here add user, and user account save changes, and home controller I employee interface and employee service, both are interface and service are today include in startup.cs. Here service.add transmit, and I employee service and employee service, because and ASP.NET Core and support automatically dependency injection, does not require any external framework. Okay, and you can also this is enable chorus, and you have to enable chorus if you are using ASP.NET Core API. Enable chorus, my policy here enable, and write down the code here, and service.add chorus, add policy, my policy, allow origin, allow method, allow header inside the startup.cs. You have to remember that always that ASP.NET Core always support automatically dependency injection. All service and interface always mention here startup.cs inside service.add transient employee service, and similar to always add chorus in your startup.cs file. After that, and okay, and my API is running now, and my application is here, and today I just refresh and write down the name, and Vikas, and this is email ID Vikas @gmail.com, and after that contact number 78 like this, and address similar to Delhi, and submit. After submit button, my hit on server, I am just debugging here, and after that my model post on service. Here contact number, email id, name, and after that my data has been saved successfully. Okay, saved successfully, data has been saved successfully. Oh, this is my db here, and after execute query, one record inserted in db. This is my function name. Here write down the get all customer, get all. Okay, employee, get employee. This is a function call after page load, and given a definition of function here, control v, and like this, and after that, and similar to like this here, and get all employee, write down the query here, and after that subscribe data, and this dot data is equal to data, and after that, and data is declare here, and here as data any data format, and after that get all employee, write down the my service here. This is my service b. Okay, control v, control x. This is my function get user list, and here write down the function name get employee, get all employee, and after that get all employee here, and after that this is part of my uh, home controller, inside the home controller. Oh sorry, this is my home controller. Write down the function here, and stop the my application firstly, and this is my home controller, and write down the have function public, this function name, and after that and return, and write down the here return type. Return type data as a list format, and user account. Okay, and write down the here http get, and return, and stop application firstly here, and return, and employee sorry, employee dot get all employee. Write down this function, down the here function get all employee in my on my controller, and after that generate method get all employee in a employee service here, and return type is write down the here function like this. Okay, after that this is my service here, employee service, and implement a function here, return text dot user account dot list of here does not show showing to list the please add here using system link queue. After that dot to list find, and this is my function written here list. Okay, and written data on client side, and this is my data here, and three list coming in my, and coming in my list, three list, and my data coming, all data coming in client side, three record coming in my list, and after that, and I will implement ng2 smart table in my application. Okay, and the first one step is that npm install ng2 smart table in my application. Okay, here this is my cmd. Now my package installing, and next step is that import ng2 smart table in my here, and this is my web app. Inside the web app client, oh sorry, client app, inside the client app src, inside app app.module.ts. Okay, to smart table. After that ng2 smart module here, and after that this is my template here ng2 smart table. And where is my html page, and and this employee module, inside the employee module this is my html page, and write down here. This is my table ng2 smart table setting here, and my package now installing, and after that this is my setting here. This code write down the, this is a this is data setting, this code write down component here. In this setting write down the similar field, like just like a database here, email, after that contact number, and after that here write down the address. Now my package has been successfully installed. This is ng2 smart table, and after that ng server open, and my application now starting. After compiling, my application showing this error, computer editor component.js not found. Okay, enter here, search on Google, and after that, and he saying that saying that about install npm install ng to completer, and okay. Now my package has been successfully installed ng2 completer here, and after that run my application, and this is command for running application ng server open, and my package now my application compiled successfully, and my application this is running now. Okay, we can add new record here, and Noida. After that click here and save successfully record here, and my list not refresh. Okay, and new record in the showing my list, and after that, and this is my component here, employee component, and this function get all employee and write down here after data success and okay after that and here this is my list down the here company name and Taja here.com. Here I done the contact number Noida and after that I click here save button and record saved successfully and showing in my record here and pagination here and the Taja record here showing and this is my pagination also and we can also filter data and like this. Now this table and we implement delete button and also edit table showing here add new add edit and delete button actions here but it is not working. So we have to add in this table and custom edit delete and more than one button here. Let's start and this is my component here. This is my component in this component and here ng2 smart table setting this is here setting pager display to and per page like this and this is my column field here contact number here add action false my action not visible here. Okay, now we are adding here delete button edit button similar to like this one or more than one button here. Let's start and this is my component after action false and not visible my action here after we can implement custom delete button edit button and add button more than one as per my requirement. Okay. This is my button here delete button and this is my custom type and render component. In this button we render here component. This is my component name is button view component. Yeah, we can say that button component and we can add a custom component here like this and create a component here in this employee field add new a new item script typescript file and write down the here control V delete button component here. Okay, now we have add delete button component in this field and we have written here code and see and okay and but my component name is delete button component and stop my application firstly and okay this is my delete button component here and in this component and we import ng2 smart table we call also routing and ngunit like this and this is my template here. In this template we can write down one or more than one button here like this button and title class title delete and class btmeter danger and this is my delete button. Okay, after click this button and input at the rate input value and at the rate output order. Okay, this component we are using as an entry component and this is my component here and like this is my solution and we add here delete button component and delete button component render here delete button component import firstly delete button component here import here and this is my delete button component import delete button component here and this is my module here, and this is a path complete path delete button component similar to this delete button component import in app.module.ts. Here this app.module.ts. We have to entry delete button component as an entry component here. Remember that. And also here implement import declare delete button component and also import delete button component. Okay, give here complete path and now this is my delete button component. In this component this is my here and this is my HTML template. Here we mention delete button like this, and after that click a function. Okay, and this is my here in this my component write down the function delete employee record. In this delete employee record, after click here and import the service. This is my service here, employee service, this service, and after this service and inject in my constructor here, and after create an instance and call delete function. After call delete function, delete employee function, this render value here and subscribe, and after that and write down the function in my employee here. This is my delete employee record here, and after that call delete employee function. This is function on my API, and after that this is my home controller here. Home controller write down the function here for delete employee record and like this, and after that and this is my iService here. I write down the function this delete employee. After that this function write down on employee service. This is my employee service here. In this employee service delete employee record and fetch the data from table. After that remove using entity framework and save change and return data from my delete component here like this. And now testing, now test my application. Okay, after refreshing we implement Joan Noida and contact number like this email, and now delete my record. Delete successfully, my record successfully delete. After refresh page I am showing that Joan record is not available in my list. Now I will be add in this list edit button here also like this, and this is my component delete button component, and like this, and okay this button and also repeated here, and change the class danger and like primary, change tags primary. After that change edit, and like this here a class is like pencil something like this. Same, and refresh my page and save HTML. Okay, now in my list have showing the two button delete and edit also. Okay, this button is delete, this is the edit button here. We can